You're listening to Vaquero News, the Valley Student Station.
Good afternoon, Vaqueros. We're coming to you from Brownsville. It is 3 p.m. Monday, March 7, 2022. I am Maria Sanchez and this is Vaquero News. March, a month where we celebrate women's history, praise their accomplishments, and remind women to empower each other. So here's to strong women. Now, let's go with the news. According to today's White House statements as on their website, Vice President Kamala Harris announces actions to accelerate clean transit buses, school buses, and trucks. This in order to continue with the administration's commitment to 100% zero-emission light-duty vehicles acquisitions by 2027. The Department of Education announces a state-by-state American Rescue Plan funding for colleges and universities. According to the American Rescue Plan, Texas received over $3.4 billion for 299 colleges and universities, including $1 billion for community colleges, due to the American Rescue Plan. Quote-unquote, the American Rescue Plan requires half of these funds to be used to provide direct financial relief to students. The Department of Education expects far more will ultimately be used for that purpose, end quote. Colleges and universities are using HERF to help students make college more affordable, help with enrollment, and help students be on track to graduate. The White House also released a statement readout of President Joe Biden's call with President Macron of France, Chancellor Scholz of Germany, and Prime Minister Johnson of the United Kingdom. Quote-unquote, the leaders affirm their determination to continue raising the costs on Russia for its unprovoked and unjustified invasion on Ukraine. They also underscored their commitment to continue providing security, economic, and humanitarian assistance to Ukraine. Now, let's go to on-campus news. Actress and philanthropist Lana Condor spoke as the third speaker for the 18th season of the Distinguished Speaker Series last Wednesday. Rodolfo Alvarado has more details.
Actress and philanthropist Lana Condor spoke as the third speaker for the 18th season of the Distinguished Speaker Series last Wednesday in a virtual livestream. Famous for her roles as Jubilee in X-Men Apocalypse and Laura Jean in To All the Boys I've Loved, Condor spoke about different topics, including body dysmorphia and diversity in movies and TV. After an introduction by the chief editor for Pulse magazine and a student at UTRGV'S Sol Garcia, the question and answer portion began. Condor was asked to discuss her ongoing healing journey and her relationship with her body and image. She explained that being a ballet dancer constantly made her aware of her body due to the mirrors in the studio.
I was constantly aware of how I looked, constantly being critiqued by, your teachers or your peers. You start to critique yourself, and their noise starts to become your own noise.
Condor gave this advice to people with similar struggles.
Make sure that you talk to yourself as if you're your own best friend, because that self-talk is everything and is a really great tool in your healing process.
The discussion shifted when Condor was asked to discuss her roles in sci-fi films concerning diversity. She explained that diversity helps the sci-fi genre by keeping it real.
When you do something so outlandish as sci-fi is, you need very grounded, realistic performances from actors. The world outside is colorful. Period. The world does not look one way.
During the final portion of the event, where viewers asked Condor a question, one UTRGV student asked about her future goals. Condor responded with this.
I want to keep being in projects that I'm really proud of, that I know represent my values.
For information on similar upcoming events, visit UTRGV's V-Link page. This is Rodolfo Alvarado for Vaquero Radio.
As Democrat candidate Beto O'Rourke and Republican candidate and current Governor Greg Abbott secured the nominations for the November 2022 governor election in Texas, UTRGV students give their perspective on the governor primary results. Felix Valderas has more details.
Beto O'Rourke and Greg Abbott secured the nominations for the November 2022 governor election in Texas. Governor Greg Abbott won the Republican Party nomination for a third term in office, while former Congressman Beto O'Rourke received the nomination for the first time. Mass communications sophomore Emmanuel Sanchez shared his ideal candidate.
I just need them to be in touch with reality, with what's going on. Listen to the people.
Mass communications senior Diego Ramirez Meda would like to see a governor for Texas that makes the people their top priority and cares about the livelihood of everyone in the state. Meda shares why he wants to see a change from Greg Abbott to Beto O'Rourke for the 2022 governor election.
He's made some choices I don't agree with. I don't agree with how some of his decisions have impeded on people's rights and livelihoods. I would like to see someone in office who is taking people's lives more into consideration rather than just what's better for Texas's money.
International business junior Tania Estrada believes that transparency is most important within any candidate for governor. Estrada shares her opinion on the current governor of Texas with Vaquero Radio.
He does enforce or make his opinion matter the most rather than paying attention to what the citizens want.
The 2022 Texas gubernatorial election will take place on November 8th, 2022 to elect the next governor of Texas.
And McClain goes up and throws down a monster dunk. That fires up the UTRGV field house.
And now time for Vaquero Sports.
What's up, Vaqueros? Here are the sports for the week. On Monday, we have an all-day men's golf at Colin Montgomery Invitational Spring. We have the women's golf versus UTRGV Invitational. For Tuesday, we have all-day men's golf at Colin Montgomery Invitational Spring and all-day women's golf versus UTRGV Invitational. At 2 p.m., we have the women's basketball versus Seattle U at Las Vegas, Nevada. At 6:30, we have the baseball versus Texas A&M Corpus Christi. For 8 p.m., we have the men's basketball versus California Baptist. And on Wednesday at 2 p.m., we have the women's basketball versus Evelyn Christian at Las Vegas. For 8 p.m., we have the men's basketball versus Sam Houston at Las Vegas. On Thursday at 2 p.m., the women's basketball versus Utah Valley at Las Vegas. At 8 p.m., we have the men's basketball versus Grand Canyon, Las Vegas. For Friday, we have the women's basketball versus Stephen Austin at 2 p.m. At 4 p.m., we have the men's tennis at Lafayette, Louisiana. At 7 p.m., we have the baseball versus Evelyn Christian here at Edinburgh, Texas. At 8 p.m., we have the men's basketball versus New Mexico State at Las Vegas. And on Saturday at 2 p.m., we have the men's tennis versus Nichols, Lafayette, Louisiana. At 4 p.m., we have the women's basketball versus WAC Tournament Championship at Las Vegas. At 6 p.m., we have the baseball versus Evelyn Christian here at Edinburgh, Texas. And at 9 p.m., we have the men's basketball versus WAC Tournament Championship at Las Vegas. And last thing for Sunday, we have at 12 p.m. the baseball versus Evelyn Christian, Edinburgh, Texas. The 2 p.m. women's tennis versus Omaha here at Edinburgh, Texas. And that's all for the week.
Hello, Vaqueros, and now it's time for the events of the week. From 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. today, we have the Affinity for Space for Women in STEM, Finding Your Familia event. From 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tuesday, March 8th, we have the Spring Break 2022 UTRGV Luau in Brownsville at the Bee Stun Lawn. From 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Wednesday, March 9th, we have the Spring Break Bingo in Brownsville in B Main 2.402 or Saloon Garcia. In Edinburgh, we have the same event at 12 p.m. March 10th in the Cinezo Room. And finally, Thursday, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. March 10th, we have the Spring Break 2022 UTRGV Luau in Edinburgh at the E-Chap Lawn. That's your events for the week. Back to you. Now for this week's campus weather report.
Alrighty, Vaqueros, let's see what the weather has in store for us this week. In Brownsville today, it is currently 58 with a 50% chance of rain and breezy with a low tonight of 48. Tuesday is showing a 20 to 40% chance of rain with a high of 51 and a low of 44. Wednesday is showing a 20 to 30% chance of rain with a high of 58 and a low of 41. Thursday is showing a high of 73 with partly sunny conditions with a low of 44. Friday is expected to be windy with partly sunny conditions and a high of 72 with a low of 55. That's all for Brownsville weather, Vaqueros. Now let's check in to see what Edinburgh has. In Edinburgh today, it is currently 61 with a 60% chance of rain and breezy with a low tonight of 46. Tuesday is showing a high of 53 with a low of 45 with cloudy conditions. Wednesday is showing a high of 63 with a low of 49 with partly sunny conditions. Thursday is showing a high of 77 with a low of 61 with mostly cloudy conditions. And on Friday, it's expected to have a high of 77 with partly sunny and windy conditions with a low of 40. And that wraps it up for the weather, Vaqueros. Stay safe and warm.
And now for the COVID-19 updates.
We have COVID-19 updates for Cameron and Hidalgo County. According to the COVID-19 Cameron County Public Health website, 43 new cases were reported as of March 4th and an additional 15 probable reports based on antigen testing. This raises the total of COVID-19 cases to 72,951 in Cameron County. Cameron County vaccination efforts continue according to their website. As of today, 84.91% of the population 5 years and older in Cameron County is fully vaccinated, and 99.99% has received at least one dose. In addition, 90.17% of the population 65 years and older in Cameron County is fully vaccinated, and 99.99% has received at least one dose. Cameron County Public Health has received confirmation of one additional COVID-19 related death from a Cameron County resident. The individual was not vaccinated, raising the total number of COVID-19 deaths in Cameron County to 2,192. In Hidalgo County, according to their COVID report tweet as of March 7th, 5 deaths related to COVID-19 reported in Hidalgo County, along with 3,276 newly reported positive cases. Of the 5 deceased individuals, 4 were not vaccinated. This is Silvana Villarreal with COVID updates.
And that's it for today's newscast. If you have any story ideas, send us an email to radio@utrgv.edu. Listen to Vaquero Radio wherever you are. Download the Radio FX app on your smartphone through the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Search Vaquero Radio and add us to your favorites. You can listen to music, chatting during DJ hours, and much more. Also, follow us on our social media platforms and visit our website for updates and much more. We will see you next Monday at 2 p.m. here on Vaquero Radio, the Valley Student Station.
This has been Vaquero Radio News.